Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. It's a little windy today, but we are outside in front of the house. As you can see, I'm in front of my flower bed here in the front gardens, and I have the D5500 with the 50mm f1.8G on it, and I have the DF, the full frame DF from Nikon with the 50mm f1.8G. So full frame FX, Nikon APS-C, best of the APS-C sensors, same as the 7200 DX. So we're going to take the same lens, the 50mm f1.8G is on both of them. We're going to do some shots of the flowers here so you can see what the difference is between the two of them, between bokeh, depth of field, sharpness, etc. So without further ado, let's have a look. Okay, so we've gotten quite a few shots with both the DF and the 50mm f1.8G and the Nikon D5500 and the 50mm f1.8G. So we're going to go inside, throw these on the computer, have a look at them in Lightroom. Let's go have a look.
Okay, so we've got the photos imported into Lightroom. I've done a quick sort ahead of time so we don't have to sort through them with you. Pulled out the comparable ones between the 5500 and the Nikon DF. So this is FX to DX comparison using the same lens, the 50mm f1.8G. And so what we've got is we've got the DF, the FX first, full frame, and the second photo in the images will be the APS-C, the DX, that's the D5500. And you'll notice the perspective is a little different. It's hard to frame these exactly the same, especially considering that you can focus closer in with the DX than you can with FX, simply because it's got that extra reach and they both have a similar fixed focus point of how close you can get and hit focus. So you'll see that as we go along here. So this is the Nikon DF full frame. You can see that there. We are zoomed or focused right in on the center of the flower. Here's a 100% view, but you can see how blown out that background is. Very, very shallow depth of field, very shallow bokeh at that. And if we move over to the Nikon D55 shot, exposure is a little different. I was in aperture priority at f1.8, and just depending on the angle you're shooting from and whatnot. I was trying to replicate basically the same, but it wasn't exactly. We didn't have the tripod in exactly whatever. But you get the idea here. I mean, there's the shallow depth of field on the D5500, and there it is on the DF. It is a little shallower, but it almost appears shallower on the 55 simply because you're able to focus closer. So just interesting different perspectives. Here it is full screen, and then we zoom in to 100%, and at 100% you're right on the flower, so you can barely even see the background there, but you can see the background's still pretty nicely blown out there. Here we're on to some purple or pink and white ones. This is again the DF. There's full screen on that one, and we zoom right in. You can see the background's really nicely blown out, very shallow depth of field, and there we go. And then we're on the 5500. Go to full screen. And again, the background's very nicely blown out. You could see too. There is a difference. I'd say it's a little shallower. The shallowness is kind of disguised here between with the fact that you can focus in closer with the 5500 due to the perspective difference. So on this shot, I prefer the DF shot there, more almost because of the framing there, and I could have shot that a little different, I guess, with the 55. When you go back to these ones, it's tough because it's both again, I think I prefer the DF, the full frame shot. Let's move along to the next one. This is the DF full frame shot on the 50mm f1.8 from Nikon. There's the full screen of it, and here it is at 100% zoomed in. And then if we go over to, this is the D5500 shot, and this looks very nice too. There's the comparison there. Obviously you're in tighter. There's the full screen shot. Kind of a neat shot on how the tips of those petals are in focus, but then the inside with the piston, stamen, whatever, is out of focus. And they're zoomed into 100% there. So interesting shot there. I'm not sure which I prefer of those two. I probably like the 5500 shot on that one, although the full frame's nice too. Here we have full frame DX or FX, sorry, on the Nikon DF, and here we have the 5500. So we'll take that. This is back to the full frame. We'll take that to full screen, zoom in. You can see, you'll notice here that the image is a little cleaner as far as noise and pixelation type thing on the full frame DF shot. When we go to full screen there, and then in there, you can see there is a little more noise in the image. Let's see what our settings. ISO 400. Well, there's something there too. It was at ISO 50 on the DF. So I can't remember if I had the camera controlling that or if I'd set it that low. Yeah, it looks like it's set that low. So that's may not be apples to apples there, simply because it's going to be cleaner at 50 than at 400. Here's the next shot here. This is the full frame FX. Full screen. Zoomed into 100%. Really creamy, blown out goodness there. Looks very nice bokeh, or blown out area, I should say. Now this one, I don't know what's going on here. I might not, it looks like I have a, oh, I know what happened here. This one is further down. Let me see if I can quickly find that shot is out of order when I ordered these. Because I don't see where that additional one is right there. So I don't have the matching shot for you on that one. So we'll move along to the next one. This is the FX full screen and zoomed into 100%. Let's move up so the flower's in the center there, and you could see beautiful blown out background on there. Very, very creamy and out of focus. Let's move over to the D5500. That's full screen and zoom into 100%. The background's still very nicely blown out there as well. Again, any noise we're seeing here is not an equal comparison because I didn't have the ISO set to the same. Next test, I'll try to remember to get that fixed ISO the same, so you're looking at the grain differences will be legitimate. And here we have full frame again. We'll just flip over to the 55. There's the difference there. Let's go full screen on the full frame and zoom into 100%. We'll drag in so we're onto the flower. That is the brickwork around the flower. Nicely blown out there. Very nice. Here is the D5500 shot, zoomed in. And again, the brickwork is blown out. Again, you can see that it's shallower here. Shallower depth of field on the FX. Both very nice shots. Here's full frame on this little white flower. Here's full frame on the D5500. Now you can see here in the framing I was able to get in closer from the same distance just because the perspective is more a 75 perspective when it's on the 5500. Both very nice shots. Let's go full frame, or full screen I should say, on the full frame shot and zoom into 100%. Very creamy blown out background. Bokeh on there's beautiful. Very nicely rendered. The 50 f1.8 is a gorgeous lens whether it's on FX or DX. Here is the DX shot, full screen, now going full 100% zoom. And you can see it's pretty blown out too. Really nice shot. Here's a couple. This is full frame, and there's the DX shot. So you can see it's tighter. And you can see the difference in how those flowers in the hostas or whatever along the front brickwork are rendered. A little difference in the rendering there. Here's full frame. We go full screen. And then we'll go zoom 100%. Really nicely creamy blown out background on that. Just gorgeous on the FX. Then we have DX again, the 5500. Full screen. And then we go to the zoom 100%. Again, very nicely blown out. Very nice detail of what's in focus and very nicely blown out as well. But a difference definitely. Between these two, I like both these shots actually. Different framing definitely, because at the same focus distance, you can see that the 5500 is focusing closer here. So, oh, and there is, I think, the shot we were looking for earlier. That is the 55, and I think this is the, yeah, there's the, so that shot is the full frame version, and there we found the match for it. That's the 5500. I must have, when it imported, we didn't get those together properly. I don't know if this will let me drag in. There we go. So full frame, full screen, zoomed into 100%, D5500 DX, full frame, full screen, sorry, and zoomed into 100%. Both, you know, very nicely blown out backgrounds. Just a difference there on how blown out it is and whatnot. Let's go back to where we were in the sequence. There's the two white flowers, and here we have full. Looks like I don't know. These two somehow didn't get set up. Sometimes it's hard when you're dumping two different cameras into Lightroom to be able to match them all up and pair them and look at them at the same time. And I'm just looking to see where the matching shot for this is. We'll come back to that one. Here is the yellow. I think these are daffodils. This is full frame. So that's the FX Nikon DF shot. We'll go to full screen on that. And we'll go to 100%. We'll drag up so you can see the flower. So nicely blown out background, nicely rendered at f1.8 there. And here is the D5500, the DX shot. There's full screen. And there is 100%. And you can see again, it's still nicely rendered background at f1.8. And there's the difference. We'll flip back and forth between the two. And let's see, this is the full frame DF shot. Full screen on it. And we'll drag that flower that's in focus there, and you can see there that's 100% zoomed in. There we go. And here's the 5500 shot, the DX, and there's a zoomed in at 100% as well. So you can see the difference there. Again, full frame, Nikon DF. Go full screen on that. Zoom in 100%. Really nice. The 50mm does a great job on both cameras. It's just you can see the difference here. This is the D5500, the DX shot. Still really nice rendered background. Out of focus, creamy bokeh. And the last shot here, we've got, I believe this was a hydrangea dried out from last year. So it was kind of neat looking, so we threw that in there. That is the DF, full frame FX. Go full screen on this image. And there's 100%. Zoomed in. Go over to the 5500 with the 50mm f1.8. This is the DX on the 5500. Full screen on this image. Zoomed into 100%. Again, both very nice shots. And we'll just go back here. I'm just going to highlight two at a time here and show you. Let's see if we can shift tab and go into that there. And there you can see them side by side. So on the left, we have the DF full frame shot, and on the right we have the D5500 shot. So, oh, I'm flipping through the candidates. What we have to do is we just have to tab back over here and select the next two, and there we go. We'll shift tab, take us out to that. Left is the Nikon DF full frame, and on the right is the Nikon D5500. You can see them side by side there. We'll come out of that and select the next two. We'll go to a side-by-side comparison there. Tab out the side panels. Left again is full frame. On the right, the DX D5500. Alright, let's look at the next two in the series. And let's see here. There we go. Oops. Let's select the side-by-side view. There we go. Full frame on the left, Nikon DF with the 50mm f1.8G, and the D5500 DX on the right, Nikon 50mm f1.8G. Just a difference in perspective there. Let's see, let's just show you. We won't go through all these this way. Let's have a peek at the two white flowers down here. We'll put those let's get it into the side-by-side mode. There we go. On the left, Nikon DF full frame FX. On the right, Nikon D5500 DX. Now between these two, just looking at these like this, I like the D5500 shot better. And that's mostly because of the perspective difference. I was able to get in closer and still hit focus with the minimum focus distance because of the perspective difference of the 5500 and that 1.5 crop. And that's one of the reasons you might want a DX camera in some situations over FX, because it does get you in closer. And that's with the same lens there, the 50mm f1.8G. All right, let's look at one more. What else do we have here? Let's go to the hydrangeas that are dried out there. We'll come in close. Shift tab. Look at that. On the left, DX full frame. Or it's not DX, sorry. That's the Nikon DF full frame on the left. On the right, the Nikon D5500 DX shot, both with the 50mm f1.8G. And these are both nice shots, but again, in this situation, I think my personal preference is the one from the D5500 on the right. So anyways, hope that was helpful for you guys to see the difference of the two cameras. Same lens, Nikon 50mm f1.8G. Two different cameras, FX versus DX. I will upload these to Google Plus, and so you can see the galleries of the actual out-of-camera JPEG fine images, full size, and have a peek at them yourself if you want to do some pixel peeping and go through them. So I'll try and put that. I'll get that link up below in the video here for you. But thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Again, this was Nikon DF. That's a Nikon FX full frame sensor, same as in the D4. I believe it's, 16 megapixels, versus the D5500 DX sensor, one of the best APS-C sensors out there. Same one that's in the D7200, and that's 24 megapixels, both using the Nikon 50mm f1.8G. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Any questions or comments, leave them below. We'll be back soon.